Hi everyone. Now I don't normally do this, but I've just spotted a video on my feed and I want to record a reaction to it. I don't normally do reactions because it intrigued me. I want to get my genuine response to it. It's this one here about beginner guitars to avoid. And the thing that got me interested was, it looks suspiciously like a Les Paul Gold top, but also, I've got to put my glasses on here, it's by Robert Baker, who's usually really, really good, who I follow and really admire. So let's see if he's straight up just telling beginners not to buy a Les Paul, which is possibly pretty good advice. Alright, let's go find out. Yep, looks like a Les Paul Gold top to me.
So let's talk about guitars that beginners should avoid.
It's what we're here for.
There's never been more guitars available, and I wanted to throw out a few tips that might make it easier for you as a beginner or just anyone to buy a guitar.
Thanks.
Mostly beginners though. Alright, so number one has got to be grocery store guitars. Now, it's something that I'm seeing pop up a lot more. They kind of vanished for a while, now they're back. Guitars are everywhere. Definitely made it back into mainstream. And what I mean is
guitars, grocery stores
like Target, Walmart, Meijer, Kroger, wherever you are, I'm seeing these real inexpensive...
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense because we don't have those massive, ginormous, sell everything sort of supermarkets here in the UK. You might find those sort of things in department stores, but I don't really go shopping, so I don't really know. And I wouldn't go check out the guitars. In fact, near me, there's not even that many guitar shops, really. No big ones anyway.
Starter guitar kits popping up all over the place again. You really want to avoid those for a few different reasons.
Probably get them in the likes of Argos here. Avoid them. All those things like Encore and Horner and all those things. It's just, they're just going to be unplayable. Rubbish. They're going to break. Buy cheap, buy twice. They're not going to be playable. They're not going to help you. You're not going to learn them. You're going to give up. You're going to get frustrated and you're just going to give up.
For one, they're just not made the best. Obviously, you know, if that's the only thing you got, just play whatever you have. But a lot of these do not have truss rods. They're not made with wood. They're just not built to last kind of any duration at all. And I would kind of avoid those if you can. Grocery store guitars, probably not the best. Now, next has to be the kind of the craze that's going around, especially on YouTube, is all of these super inexpensive Amazon guitars. You know, I can't even think of the brands, but they're like 80 bucks for this Strat copy. And they might be okay guitars, but what I have found, the ones that I've played, the ones I've talked to friends about, they all need a ton of work.
So, is Amazon UK different? Because here you get Gibsons and all sorts on Amazon. Avoid anything at the low end. Anything under $100, £100. Yeah, it's just not going to do you any favours. It's just going to be unplayable. You know, you'd spend, even to get it playable, you'll spend £20, £30 getting it set up, if that's even possible, even if it can ever be set up. The intonation will be wrong, it'll be unplayable, it'll have fret spreads, it'll have scratchy frets, it'll never stay in tune. Just stay away. I think 100, 120 is the bare minimum. Yeah, spend as much as you can.
The reason why they kind of work for a person who's been playing for a little while is, without even knowing it, we inherently do things like the guitars not intonated correctly. We kind of bend the strings, and that's not even like we're trying to do it. It's just our ear is guiding us to make the guitar play in tune, to play a little bit better. But a beginner is not going to have any of those traits. So you're going to have this guitar that's probably not going to intonate correctly. You know, a lot of times the fretwork a little bit iffy. So they're great for maybe just like a fun throw around guitar, but I would definitely try to go into the store and talk to someone about it, or just have a friend who maybe knows a little bit more about guitars. Check the guitar out first before
intonation. You become a human truss rod.
And the final one I want to throw out here is all these light up guitars. So you see the fretboards, they light up, they tell you exactly where to put your fingers.
What?
Personally, I think that is not the best way to learn a guitar. I don't want to be mean. I think it's horrible.
A light up guitar? I want one. Someone show me one. I'm going to search for one. I want a guitar that lights up. I want to play anything but what it's telling me to play. What? I'm stunned. I've never seen or heard anything like this. I am doing me some Googling after this. Let's hear more about this light up guitar.
Because what's going to happen whenever you play a guitar that doesn't have all these little light up buttons and all that kind of stuff?
Cry?
It's going to be very confusing. I think it's kind of like a shortcut to playing guitar, and I would highly not recommend that. I think that you should get a normal guitar, learn how to either read music, tabs, whatever it is, but just play it. You don't need all those lights to help you out. You got this. You're good. Now, to wrap up the video, I wanted to throw out a suggestion of what I think would be a great guitar for a beginner. I think one of the best things you can do is get something like a Squier Classic Vibe. Now, the way you can get it even better is to get a used one. Ooh. So if you can buy something, Squier, Epiphone, you get them used, real affordable. They're a little bit more than those.
Oh, okay, so much to unpack here, so much. Squier, even the high-end Squiers, I've played them. Some of the most boring guitars in the world. There's just nothing going for them. I imagine a Fender, a real proper Fender's different. But then there's that old joke, isn't there, about, do you want, about between Squier and Fender, do you want a Fender made in Mexico by Mexicans, or do you want a Fender made in the USA by Mexicans? There's better Strat knockoffs. Yeah, Squiers aren't even good knockoffs. Epiphone, my first sort of £400 guitar in the 90s, which is probably equivalent of, well, inflation's probably 5 or 6, but you can probably get the equivalent guitar now for about 200. It was all right, but it was nothing special. It never really inspired me. I've played £800-900 Epiphones, and yeah, but at that price, there's a whole load of other guitars, everywhere from about 300 up to 800 that would be just as interesting. Second-hand guitars. Wow. If someone's got a great guitar, why are they selling it? They'll sell the rubbish ones first. So you've got to ask yourself, why is this for sale? All the good guitars are in people's houses and they're not letting them go. All the ones that they've broken or mashed up or just were a Friday afternoon guitar, they're the ones that was for sale. Now, I know what you're saying. People buy guitars to trade up, which is probably fair enough. And you look around, you might get one. I'd be wary of a second-hand guitar unless it was actual proper vintage, which we're talking about beginners here, so wouldn't do that. Maybe second, third guitar, maybe you've got nothing to lose. You know what, if I had one of those big American style guitar shops near me in driving distance, yeah, I'd go and play everything and come out with 3 used guitars. I just know it. As your main guitar, as your first guitar, I'd want something under warranty, to be honest.
Like, super inexpensive Amazon guitars, but
yeah, they're going to kick the ass of those.
They're just made a little bit better. I like them a lot more. I think you'll have more fun, especially a guitar that plays in tune. So check those out if you want to. Other than that, I'm going to bounce it out of here.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to be made a bit better, but there's probably still better you can get with the same money. Let me just show you a few things. I've got one of these, which was about £100 when I bought it. And honestly, for a long time, it was my go-to guitar to learn anything and to practice on. I know it's not going to be a real Fender, and it's got a humbucker at the bridge. Yeah, it's not going to sound like it, but it gave me so many tonal opportunities. Strat copies are perfect first guitars because they can sound like anything. Bond theme and the Back to the Future Chuck Berry song were recorded on Strats. This is the sort of thing I'd be looking at. I know if you've got, here we go, about 300. I've got my eye, hence why I've got this page open, this window open. I've got my eye on one of these. I might even get B stock for 250 because it's probably just been sent back because somebody doesn't like the flame top or something. And if it's got a little nick on it, it'd be nothing compared to what I'll put into it over time. Just because it's PAF sounding, and I like EMG actives. I know what EMG actives are like. I know what the guitar build quality is like. I know how the guitar is to play because I've got this very, very similar beauty here, which for a long time I used to sleep with this guitar. I just loved this guitar. Let's just go look. I've got Harley Benton open here. This is 100 to 300. Now let's drop that down a bit. Let's see what they've got in the 100 to 200 price range. See, these tellies will be good, but I wouldn't start with a telly. That will be great. Look at the reviews on these things. Hopefully you can see my cursor. Maybe go back, maybe go up to about that 300. Okay, 250, but that's going to be great. That's going to be really good. I'm trying to see if there's something a bit beginnerish, something around 150. So Harley Benton, made by Thomann in Germany, fantastic guitars. People say they're hit and miss, but I've had a whole load of them. As you Americans would say, a whole bunch, because it's your only collective pronoun. I've got one of these, and it is exceptional. Look at that, 233 gave it not quite 5 stars. I was going to say 5 stars there, 233. I mean, this guitar, people can't believe how little it costs when they play it. 4.8. People say they hit and miss on the quality, but I've never had a bad one. I've bought B stock from them, never had a bad one. So yeah, I really believe at the low end, Harley Benton is the way to go. I was talking about Strat style guitars, wasn't I? What have they got? You see 125. You see this 36. This is going to be great. This is going to be the sort of thing should be looking at. And in fact, I wouldn't even rule out a bundle for these things. Although you could probably buy that and then buy a sort of £15 to £30 headphone amplifier. Because if you're an absolute beginner, no one wants to hear you play anyway. Let's face it, sorry guys, these are going to be good. For a beginner, whatever you buy, whatever your first guitar is, it won't be your last guitar. And saying all this, I've got guitars that I deeply, deeply love. I love that. I'm going to be recording on it soon. But I do have to say, I do have to own up, to fess up to one thing, which is, and I'm so sorry about this, I'm so sorry. I do own one of these. And I've never known a guitar like it. It's beautiful, just so easy to play, so great, such great craftsmanship. It's fantastic, but I wouldn't suggest it as a beginner's guitar, especially if you don't know if you're going to keep it up or not. Also, I heard this story about somebody who went into a guitar shop and bought a Les Paul Standard, so double the price maybe. As a first guitar, bought it on finance, signed it, took it away. Just felt like they didn't deserve it. Also, it held them back, they didn't want to play it, because obviously you're rubbish to begin with. Thought they were wasting having this guitar that somebody who could play could have had it. Eventually sold it for something half the price. Bought something about $150. Then went on to learn to play. I mean, if you've got the money, yeah. I'm not sure. First guitar, given how you might play, given what you might do, I'd go for something a bit cheaper. I mean, it all depends how much money you've got, doesn't it? Look at reviews. Just look online. In fact, look, you know, I've got some unboxing videos on here. I've got some guitars of various brands and costs and price points. See if there's anything on my channel. Yeah, I came in here because I thought he was going to do the obvious thing and tell everyone not to buy a Les Paul as their first guitar. Which, if you're just thinking rich, do it. Buy a Les Paul Custom. But for me, yeah, I'd look for good reviews of affordable Strats from decent companies. I just wanted to record my reaction to this in case there was something bizarre in that video. So that's it. So thanks for watching this. Hope it hasn't taken up too much of your time. Hope it was worth it. Okay, I'll see you guys soon with something hopefully a bit more substantial. Have a great week until I see you again. Bye now.